straight to the point. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to the one true power, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Kakadash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a body shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching his word and believing in his word. But willing y'all continue in sound doctrine in the same spirit. Shalom to the aqua, the sisters of his faith and his truth. But willing you continue to pursue your lot, being your mother, silent and virtuous wife. The Lord willing Yahweh Shemosha has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. Right, we're gonna deal with 2 points, but it's all in one. Isaiah 49, which title of my, from verse 7 to 12, it deals with the day of salvation. Now I'm gonna read it, speak on certain points, and we're gonna actually get into the day of salvation for like this should all make sense. But let me say this point: the day of salvation is not a day of all nations, but day when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will deliver his chosen people, the elect of Israel, from captivity, destruction, and oppression. This day marks the fulfillment of all the covenants, promises, and prophecies spoken by the prophets. It is both a day of judgment, redemption, judgment for the heathen, and salvation for Yasharella. Really, for the elect on their side who's going to be able to walk in the kingdom, right? And get that, be part of that second resurrection with to Yahweh Shai. So this Isaiah chapter 12, chapter 49, verse 7. Thus saith Yahweh, the Salaki. Let me make sure. Do I gotta correct myself off of something I just said? What was that? Right. It says the first resurrection unto Yahweh Shai. It's Isaiah 49, verse 7. It says, Thus saith Yahweh, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nation abhorreth, to a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise, princes also shall worship, because Yahweh that is faithful in the Holy One of Israel, and he shall choose thee. Who is he choosing? The elect, right, of Yasharella, right? But now we can look at another example, because him whom man despiseth, we understand even when we go to Isaiah 53, Yahweh Shai is despised, right, of his own people, right? But if we look at our whole sense, the nation of Israel is despised, right? Verse 8, it says, Thus saith Yahweh, and in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in the day of salvation have I helped thee, and I will preserve thee and give thee for a covenant of the people, to establish the earth and cause to inherit the desolate heritage, which is our land. But it said, give thee for a covenant of the people. Now we know the covenant that we had through Moses, right, which is the old covenant, but renewed through Yahweh Shai, which we see the prophets spoke of, right? We're going to go to one. You hear it in Jeremiah, and you hear the same one in Hebrews, right? Jeremiah 31. It's Jeremiah 31, verse 31. It says, Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, and I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Now, if you understand, especially during the time of the old covenant, the northern kingdom got kicked out of the land. Then eventually the southern kingdom got kicked out of the land. So this new covenant is going to fully be established through Yahweh Shai, right? This was the whole point of Yahweh Shai laying his life down. He laid his life down for the world of Israel. When you go to Hebrews, right? I just got to get it because we're saying some points. Hebrews, the first chapter, right? Because there's many worlds, and let's just prove that. This is Hebrews 1, verse 1. The Most High, who at sundry times in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, having these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he have appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Each nation has its own world, right? Its own customs, way of living, right? When we go into the Israelites, our way of living was the Torah, the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why when we subdued the nations and they were under our dwelling or under our house as servants, they had to follow our ways. That's why when we get the kingdom, all nations are going to have to follow our ways, right? And if you so happy, we'll remove you from, no, we'll remove you, right? And you can be all happy, gay, all you want, right? So Yahweh Shai made the world. But what world did he die for in St. John 3:16? He died for the world of Israel, right? The 12 tribes, right? So Jeremiah 31 and 32, not according to the covenant that I made with your fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, right? This is the time of Moses, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Yahweh. This is why you're hearing lessons where I say, the nation of Israel, you're a wife. That's why a lot of you women, you reflect on the nation of Israel. Most women are rebellious to their husband, some type of way, some form, right? It's either a woman would try to slide through and try to tell you what to do, right? Or a woman would be jealous, right? Like, say if this was an actual figure, like when we look at um, the salvation that Judah would be jealous because salvation was given to the Gentiles. As a woman, she'd be jealous. When you look at Romans 11, a woman would be jealous because you entertaining another woman. Guess what? The nation of Israel is the same way as you women that's on the earth. Speaking about all women, but speaking about you Israelite women. And the Israelite woman is even worse in captivity, in prison, right? You even worse. The mindset that you have, you try to teach a woman, right? You try to teach her of how she's supposed to move, how the Lord created her, and she'll still bump up against that, right? Ain't nobody got to tie on you and say, you better follow the Western ways. It's because you want to. That's the same way as the body of Israel. We are synonymous with the 12 tribes of Israel women. The whole nation of Israel, when we went off, we are synonymous to the women. That's why you women, right, you're such a weaker vessel. The nation of Israel, weaker vessel, right? We went off, right? It says, but this shall be the covenant that I shall make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh. I will put my law into their inward parts and write them in their hearts. It will be their power, and they shall be my people. Right now, we're spiritually having these words, law, statutes, commandments, this faith written in our hearts, right? And we're walking this thing out to the best of our ability. So when the Lord comes and he see that we're worthy, if we're that elect that was chosen before the foundations of the heavens and the earth, guess what? You're gonna get a glorified body, and you're gonna be afreshed in the spirit and in the mind, right? So back to Isaiah chapter 49. Where was we? Verse 9. That thou mayest say to the prisoners, is not talking about literal, because even though Israel is in prison, like we are in the prison houses, but this is speaking of captivity. Go forth to them. How can the people that are in prison go forth to them that are in darkness? Darkness is those that are in the world, right? Let's go to, I believe it's one I want in 2 Thessalonians. No, 1 Thessalonians. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 in verse 4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but be sober. The more that you continue to be in the light, the more you won't be in dark, right? Those that believe are not in darkness, right? Those that connect, that want to understand why things are the way they are. Just because a brother say, hey, you are in light, don't mean you in light. You have to want to be in light, right? We understand St. John 15, the Lord have chosen you, but you could tell if somebody's chosen. They always put in they next foot forward, and they're always trying to be a repenting heart and be converted daily. Daily, you're trying to be better than yourself. Daily, you're trying to look at the old man. Like the other lessons I have, because I'm doing part 3, which is going into Paul. When you look at Paul, Paul reflected always on what he did. He persecuted the church. A lot of us get upset like, oh, why are you bringing up the past, or why are you bringing up that? Are you a baby? You reading the Bible of people sinning, doing same sex and all of this, but you ain't complaining about that. Paul did the same thing, but he even spoke about his own self. I don't even deserve to be an apostle, but I am, right? By the grace of the Heavenly Father. You're supposed to use your downfall, the things that you have done. It doesn't matter if it was a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. If you lied a super lie and you was in somebody's face you loved, and then you told them 3 years later when they was asking you or telling you, I bet you holding something from me, and you just waited all them damn years, and then now you say it, and then somebody tell, oh, I feel so bad I did that. Now, and then somebody is bringing it up to you, not to hold it down and say, oh, you did this, but to use it for edification, to let you know yourself. Know that you are a liar. That, hey, it's going to come a time where you will lie. It's going to come a time where you're going to be sneaky as you sneaky in some way. Because if something is being revealed, you were sneaky. And now the Lord allowed it to be revealed. But if it's not revealed, guess what? The Lord is allowing that to be in that way. Then sometimes you start feeling convicted, and then you say it, and guess what? Now it becomes something bad. You holding a grudge. It's an argument or a fight going on. And, hey, let's not tell the brother, or let's not tell our husband. Let's not do these things, right? You use the examples which in the scriptures, and then you got to look at your own self. Are you doing it? You use this to better yourself, right? This is why, considered a woman, you know, we have to come out that darkness, which is the way of this world, right? You trying to live in your own heart, but you should be following the heart of Yahweh Shema Shai. He rather obedience than sacrifice, right? So what he said, let us watch and be sober. Sober goes into being vigilant or cautious, right? Be cautious how you move, how you think. So back to Isaiah 49:9, that thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth, to them that are in darkness. So this is going back to Matthew 22. Go out to the highways and hedges. Wait, what? Show yourselves. How do you show yourself? You go to Matthew 22, right, which we doing now. Going out to the highways and byways and teaching his word, regardless if people hear or not. Matthew 22, verse 8. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Hold on. If the truth is out right now, that means the wedding is ready. Now that the truth is out, just because this truth is out, you got to be thinking way deeper in the spirit, like, yo, how should I come? Because now the truth is out. That means the wedding is getting ready. He is gathering those that are of the sheep. Even he's gathering you false ones, because you're going to be revealed. And how is he doing it? Wedding, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, right, these main streets, or the byways, the side streets, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. What's bid? You calling them by name, and you calling them to a name. What you mean calling them by name? Hey, John. No, you calling them by Israel, right? Northern and southern kingdom, and we're using the stick, the 12 tribes chart, especially in Babylon. But of course, you still use certain ways in other countries, like the brother Matazabif, GMS Australia. He's using the stick in Australia, right? And then he's going into circular history to show you, Jake, that might be called something else over there, right? He circular history, blah, 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 blah. This is what you recall because you came here, boom, 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 boom. Your brothers and sisters is over there. Hey, you might be Judah. right? We're bidding you by name, calling you by name, and calling you to the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is what the prisoners is doing, right? The prophets is prisoners. You Jake that think yeah, because you rich, you're a rich prisoner, man, right? Back to Isaiah 49:9. They shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in all high places, and they shall not hunger nor thirst. Now, we could line this up where uh when we with the Father, we're not gonna hunger and thirst. But no, this is going into they shall not hunger nor thirst because of the truth, right? What do we say in 2nd Esdras 8:4? Swallow down understanding and devour wisdom, right? You're not gonna hunger because before, your absence wasn't feeding you knowledge. They were forced. Job the 13th chapter, verse 4. Neither heat nor the sun smite them, for he have mercy on them, shall lead them, even by the springs of water shall he guide them. Now, what is the springs of water? Now, if we look at this in a spiritual sense, go to 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter. How is going to lead you by the springs? 2nd Esdras chapter 14, I'm going to go to the point, verse 47. For in this is the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, in the stream of knowledge. Right? So again, it said, shall lead them, even by the springs of water, shall he guide them. The springs of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, in a stream of knowledge. And how is he going to do that? Let's go to St. John, the 7th chapter. Right? The Lord is putting cheat codes in the scriptures. Right? This is St. John chapter 7, verse 37. In the last days, that great day of the feast of Yahweh Shai stood and cried and saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. How you going to come to Yahweh Shai and drink? You go through the prophets, right? So they could guide you in the right direction. Isaiah 49, verse 10. They shall not hunger nor thirst. Why? Because of the truth. Neither shall the heat nor the sun smite them. For he that have mercy on them shall lead them, even by the springs of water shall he guide them. 2nd Esdras chapter 14, verse 47. Right? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. A fountain, a spring, a stream. St. John 7 and 38. He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. But this spake he of the Spirit. They that believe on him shall receive, for the Rakakwadash was not yet given, because that Yahweh was not yet glorified. When he went up to the Father, that Spirit fell on the apostles. Guess what? When that breath of life came back on those that were in darkness, in Isaiah 49, verse 9, that thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth to them that are in darkness. What's that darkness? A dead estate, right? Revelations, the 11th chapter, right? Because the truth sprung out in the United States, in New York, right? This is Revelations 11, verse 8. In their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of that great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So they're in a dead estate, no knowledge from the neck up. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, 350 years, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. In the graves you rest, you sleep. So we had no rest. That's Lamentations 5 and 5. Our next is under persecution. We have no rest. Of people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another. They're selling us, right? Because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth, right? When we were entwined with the Heavenly Father, the nations was tormented. You can even go look into history, right? Verse 11, and after 3 days and a half, 350 years, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Now, what is that? If the spirit came upon you, it's because the Lord The Lord was he led them even by springs of water, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Saint John 17. That water's gonna flow out of you. Verse 39. He spirit. So the spirit is flowing. That's how he's leading you by the spirit, man. Leading you back to the bosom of the Heavenly Father, man. Man, that's beautiful. Like literally, we just got the cheat code real quick. Isaiah 49, verse 11. And I will make all my mountains a way, and my high mountains shall be. How is that? When Esau falls, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, Israel as a nation is going to be exalted, right? Under Yahweh Shai, behold, these shall come from far, and lo, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Shinim, right? This is speaking about the scattered Israelites, because we're scattered at four corners of the earth. Part of salvation is being delivered from being scattered four corners of the earth. And the Lord did that because that's going to help glorify his name. Him delivering you. What is that? Matthew the 24th chapter. The day of salvation is near. Jake, wherever you at, you are the symbol of that salvation, man. Even you 2/3, right? Keep going off. You are the symbol of the 2/3, right? This is Matthew 24, verse 30. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. He shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Right? This is going to be a great day of joy. Right? People saying, oh, do we got to go look for the chariots? No, you don't. I was hearing people on a dang live on TikTok or whatever saying, oh, well, we're going to have to look for the chariots. Are you bugged out, man? Did you have to look? Did the Israelites look for Moses? No, Moses pulled up on them because the Heavenly Father told him, man, he was hearing the cries of his people, or he was hearing the affliction. The Lord is preparing the angels, right, on behalf of Yahweh Shai. This Isaiah 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Right? This shows salvation is exclusive to Israel, that no nation can take away. World without end. This means like I know a lot of us like to use, because I used to use it too, where you go to St. John 3 and 16, but we don't use that. Like the apostle, he corrected, you don't use this verse for that. This going into world without end, the age or dominion of Israel under Yahweh Shai's rulership. It won't end. Let's read that verse again. So now you understand St. John 3 and 16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. That world is just speaking of Israel. So you go to the precepts of world, like Hebrews 1 and 1, or show that that's speaking about Israel. But Isaiah 45, 17, but Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. If we're saved in Yahweh, Yahweh Bashem with an everlasting salvation, everlasting, eternal means permanent. He shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. That means there's no ending of Israel. It's no ending of our rulership. Because when we get salvation, it's no ending. What does eternity means? Permanent. Come on, man. When we get saved this time around, it's a permanent salvation, a permanent rulership. Ain't no new kingdom after Yahweh Shai set it up. Right? Let's get Luke. Luke chapter 1, the classic, verse 68. Right? These classics is the important basics of your understanding and salvation. This is Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be Yahweh Shema Shai, power of Yasharella, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. Right? Spiritually, and in this time after Yahweh Shai was born, physically, then he's gonna literally redeem us. Right? It said, and have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, which is Yahweh Shai, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. And the prophets is doing it over again because We're prophesying and warning you the Son of Man is coming. We're doing the same thing over again. You got to be thankful we're able to do it again. Be thankful you have a position of understanding the scriptures and teaching. It says that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, right? And this is a world without end, because when we get saved from our enemies and those that hate us, it's up from that. It's endless in a glorified body. So Zechariah prophesied that salvation, which Yahweh brings to redeem Israel and save them from their enemies, this connect directly with the day of salvation. Okay? When the enemies of Israel are brought down. Right? Let's look at Baruch 4:28. It's Baruch 4:25. Salaki, I'm a little too excited. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High, for thy enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck, just like in the time of Joshua. But who's going to get it the worst and first? The Edomites. All you Moabites, you right? Ammonites, right? Elam, Ishmael. All you nations gonna get it. You're gonna go right back under true servitude, right? Before deliverance, Jacob must go through great tribulation, right? Even though we heard about salvation, you got to prepare your minds for this, right? Like the elder just said last night, and that drink was hitting me. You know, some of us, hey, a brother, he did like a short lesson. He said he be teaching his children about what's going to happen, death and all of that. He said, if I get separated from you, I'm in prison or I'm unalive, remember the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Even your wife, if she endured to the end, she's going to meet you in that chariot. Let's not think, oh, what if a man take advantage of me? You want to have that in your mind, because if you are a 2/3, that's going to happen to you, right? But if you are under a man of the Lord and that, and say y'all do get separated, the Lord is going to hide you on behalf of him. The Lord is going to do something for you, brother. But you got to remember the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. I don't give a damn about a car, your video game. I don't give a damn about the house. You got to remember the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. In the time of this food stamp bullshit, you got to remember the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Right? Even if a brother got a job or you got a job, remember saying that name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Regardless if you see on the news, hey, you gotta have 140 hours a week in order to get food stamps. Don't use that as a gate. This is for any man, any woman, any child. Don't use that. Don't even let it slip out your mouth as a gate to say, oh, this might make me lose faith. You want to look at those things and know this can remove somebody's faith. This is just another thing. Salvation, don't only think about you. Think about somebody else. Right? You got to think, somebody of the elect, somebody that could be in this faith and really not, could probably fold because of this. Babe, you know what? I'm going to pray. I got to pray hard for the elect. Pray that brothers and sisters are strong, that they overcome that. Because all of this is a test. Don't only think about you. Because it's not only you that's going to get that salvation. It's the elect. You think you special? Right? 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9 in NLT. The Lord didn't do this because we deserve it. He did it because this is his plan all along. We're filthy rags. Just one of you is a piece of dirt. But by his love and care and his mercy, he found you worthy. You got this truth. He got mercy on you. None of us should, you should be thinking about somebody else. That should make you go harder for your faith. What if it's people out here that's real down low in their luck, still making time and make ends meet. And they probably got more faith than you, and you got a whole setup. Think about it. I know, Jake, that the heater don't work, and it be terrible storms. And the man got a damn heater. Brother know what I'm talking about. He got a whole dang heater. And come almighty to camp. Through the spirit, I'm thinking I'm reevaluating myself. But the Lord set all of us up in different lots to toughen you up, man. This is tough skin. We serve a true power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Right? This is tough skin. Put it in your thick head. Let me get this, Jeremiah 30:7. It reads, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Right? So the day of salvation follows Jacob's trouble, meaning it's the final test, or what they say, it's the final countdown. Don't mind my singing, right? So the day of salvation follows Jacob's trouble, meaning it's the final test for the elect, before deliverance. So no, what's about to come is your final test, brother. Sister, this is your final test. So don't think, oh, I'm going to be the elect. Oh, the kingdom, the kingdom. You better know you better pass this test. You remember when you was in school, you had an exam or a little pop-up quiz? You get nervous. Oh, I used to sometimes cheat, write the name over here and then try to smudge it out so nobody could see it. Write it in my skin, the same color, maybe a brown color. Write it on my shirt and fold it in. So when I try to find some type of way. You better find a way to pass this test. That's another thing with you, Jake. Just because you in this thing, we worried about salvation and all that, but like Asher said, Jake has to prepare for the worst. Stop always just preparing for the good. Yes, we think about the kingdom. I want this, I want that. Prepare for the worst. Because if you ain't prepared for the worst, that'd be your greatest mistake, and then you out of here, man. What do they say in baseball? Right? I know my oldest, she was doing softball. What she knows, 3 strikes, you're out of here. Right? Let me get that. I want to get into NLT. Yep. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get that in the NLT. Right? This is 2 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, verse 5. It says, "Examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine. Test yourselves. Surely you know that Yahweh Mashiach is among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith." Come on, man. You know how many men and women about to fail this test? You know, if you don't got your mind on this final test, get the man. You not in this thing, man. You not in this thing, and that's why a lot of us don't know the situations that we're in. The situation you in is gonna be part of your test, right? The people that's around you in your life. If you lose somebody, is you gonna deteriorate from this faith? You gotta know if somebody get unalive that's in your house, like the brother said, man, don't lose it. Guess what? That's not it. Or like he said, guess what? If one of your family members get unalive, guess what? They with the Lord. That should be your motivation. Like, what is we moping for 720 days for somebody that was serving the Lord and they with the Lord right now? Right? They trying to defend you, have your back, and Esau get rough with them, or they do something, or they get beheaded, or they in a FEMA camp, or they in jail. What is you getting boohoo for? You got to know they have a test just like you. Every child has a test if they're an Israelite. This is real. I'm looking at mine every day. And some of them don't even know. Some of them, children they don't even know it yet. Yes, they saying words, but they really don't know. Children not paying no bills, getting no food. If you didn't buy food in the house, how they gonna eat? How they gonna make sure we got food? Right? They gotta go to school, but they missed the bus. How they gonna get to school? They don't know how to walk. How they know how to get back? They need us, man. Literally. So you gotta let them know this is serious, man. Play with your salvation if you want to. So the Most High will purge and refine His people, separating the elect from the 2/3. You better hope, and again, sometimes, like I don't want to be a person that's separated from my family, and I'm a 2/3, and it's a whole Jake doing me dirty, right? Bop bop boom, and I'm calling the name of the Lord, and the family calling the name of the Lord, and the Lord covers them. Guess what? They're gonna have to know, dang, he's a 2/3. But really, I'm a man, I'm the head of the house. So that's gonna look crazy. That they most likely not the elect, right? But at the end of the day, you have to understand the Lord is really gonna separate 2/3 from the elect. The elect is getting tested for the deliverance. The 2/3, they didn't pass the test. They're gonna go through hell on this side. So think about it. You ain't got no food. You call it, like one time the household, I think they was doing a lesson, talk about depending on the Lord, and I think my little man went outside and found some fresh J's. Then another time went out and found canned goods. Those are the moments you cherish. So when times get hard, right, you think on the Lord, and the Lord is going to provide. He might not do it right away. It might take for you to move out your house, move here, go here, and then you're like, oh snap, you see this? Right now we gotta be measuring our faith. This is yeah. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, man. I gotta go get some Z's. I gotta go get some ZZs. This is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 70 to 74. It says, "For then shall the great insurrection against the neighboring cities, because of them that fear the Most High." All of this is circled around the elect, those that truly fear the Lord. It says, "They shall be madmen," speaking about the Edomites, sparing none, "to abduct and hide them that still fear the Lord." Everything is pointed to us. You 2/3 are already consumed, right? "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses." Right? So don't get attached to the shit you have. Right? "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." So now you know you're gonna be tried. Don't think it's gonna be peaches and cream and pink roses. You're gonna go through it too. That's why prepare for the worst, man. Take care of saith Yahweh Shema Shai. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand. I will deliver you from them. This can be, it could be a week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be a month. You never know, but don't deteriorate your faith. It says, "Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide." Right? Because that time might come. You think, "Oh, I'm about to get delivered right now." It's going to be like a woman in birth pains. You might think, "Oh, this is it. Oh, that's it." And guess what? The baby's still not delivered. It's gonna be levels to it. And in some moments gonna feel good, but guess what? Don't you still be in trinus when you feel comfortable and you still gotta look over your shoulder? You in a house that's not even yours. You never know. Somebody else might be looking for a shelter to stay in. Then you gotta be like, "Oh, now we gotta hide." Then you hide it, and they in the house, they scavenging through looking for some food. You telling everybody to be quiet. Like, it's gonna get real, literally, man. Right? So before salvation, the elect will be tested and refined. Yahweh will protect his chosen during chaos, showing his divine favor as prophecies unfold. Let's get Isaiah going into the day of Yahweh's power and deliverance. Isaiah the 26th chapter. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20 and 21. "Come, my people, enter thou into my chambers, and shut thy doors. About thee hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation overpass." What is this talking about? This is talking about that you're going to hide in his chambers until the indignation, the Lord's anger on the earth. That's that fire and brimstone. You want to be in the chambers, right? And literally the Lord going to shut the door, just like in the time of Noah. It says, "For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain." So if the noose is coming, it has to be havoc on the earth. Do you see havoc? No. People still chilling, chillaxing, going to work, AC, video game. No, it's levels to this. That's why, this ending is about to be the greatest ending you ever seen of a horror, action-packed movie. Right? So I'm telling you, get your spiritual. You got to get ready. Like the brother Sam, he said, "Watch Rambo." I'm gonna have to watch the old classic Rambo, but it was getting real. He was overseas. Shit was getting real. Right? You never know how it's gonna be. What I'll put in my mind, what if I'm by myself, and then later on I run into my brothers? What if you go into a FEMA camp and they take you to a whole nother city, and your family's still in that city? I'm putting my mind in that aspect. I don't want it to happen, but if the Lord do it to test me, I want that salvation. And I'm trying to tell you, whatever comes, you better desire that salvation. And guess what? Think on the name, say the name, meditate on the name, think on verses that you love dearly. Think on things, right? My mom, her ex-husband or her husband used to say, "Never show your enemy your weakness." And I'm like, "Man, what my weakness?" And I started thinking about it. One of your weaknesses is where he changed your demeanor, right? Somebody got a gun, you all happy, and next one you know you, because now he know he got you. Just like the Jake that got pulled up by that so-called Gad Edomite. He said he was a Native American, and he pulled up on him with a gun that wasn't loaded. It wasn't loaded, and it was broke. He still stand his ground, even not knowing that the gun was loaded or not. And guess what? He held his, blocked the gun away, and it took it from him and did him dirty. Stand your ground even when danger is in the midst of you. When that roller coaster come, some children but you wanted to get on there. You gotta be one of those teenagers that they really don't want to get on, but they holding it in. Oh shit! Then they holding on tightly. You gotta hold tightly on your faith, right? So the chambers represents the chariots, the vehicles of salvation, the vehicles of the Lord, right? That goes with 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 10 to 11. The chariots of Israel, where the elect will be taken up while destruction reigns on Babylon. This shows the simulation judgment and salvation. So like I'm just getting my little side note points, right? Because I know I be talking and I just want certain things to be straight direct. I don't want to, give you too much, right? I'm gonna just quote this one. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. We always bring it out. You should write down Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 1 to 5. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. When they see, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. And basically, the salvation of the elect will shock the world, especially those who mock the Israelites, right? This is a prophetic vision of the elect being taken up and glorified. But again, even you Israelites that's mocking the Israelites, that shit is going to hurt your inside, right? Because at that moment, what do they say? In this moment, this is when he knew he fucked up. Ain't no where the video game at. You gonna be stuck on freaking stupid when you see the elect getting beamed up, man. And you still just there, like the movie Left Behind. And the only thing coming your way is a missile, right? For time's sake, I'm gonna just read through this. We already read it. Matthew 24, 29 to 31. Immediately after the tribulation, they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, and he shall send his angels, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds. So Yahushua returns after the tribulation to gather the elect of Israel from the four corners of the earth, which is the elect. The clouds equal chariots, again, fulfilling the prophecy of Isaiah and Wisdom of Solomon, let alone in other points. Revelations, the 8th chapter, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. Now, this is about physically, but you can still get the spiritual sense, because everything we doing now is to come out of this Babylon, spiritually and mentally. We're not trying to be a shadow or mirror of Babylon or this world. So when Yahushua come, we can physically get translated, right? The elect will physically and spiritually separate from Babylon, right? First is going to be spiritually how we are now, right? And then the physical when Yahushua returns. That's why it's very important how you maximize your faith now, right? Don't try to be a person at the last minute. You know, Jake, y'all like coming at the last minute. Don't be late. This voice is a heavenly call of deliverance, symbolic to being beamed up while judgment hits. Now I'm going to say these other points because we're going to close. 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter, verse 29 to 32. It jumped down to 34 to 37. And when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. Right? When you go to 2nd Ezra 13, verse 31, it's going to be realm against realm. Right? It's going to be the spiritual realm against this realm. Right? So again, 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 29 to 32, drop down to 34 to 37. Yahushua will destroy the armies, basically, of the nations and defend his people, the elect Israelites. He's not defending all Israel. He's only defending the elect. The great mountain that is carved in Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, without hands, is synonymous with what? I know it's gonna take y'all a long time. Wait, what is it? What is it? You know what? I'll get it for you. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse. Do we want that one? Or we want okay, I'll get it. This is verse 34. It says, Daniel 2 and 34, it says, Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them in pieces. Do I want to get it? I think I want to get the other one. Okay, no, that's the point. Yeah, that's the point right there. Yeah, so again, what we just read, the mountain in 2nd Ezra 13, Daniel 2 and 34, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them in pieces. 2nd Ezra 13, 29 to 32, 34 to 37. And when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that were gathered together, he shall defend his people. So the great mountain carved without hands, Daniel 2 and 34 we just read, symbolize, right, the kingdom of Yahushua rising as all others fall. So when Yahushua come, which is really, when we look at this stone that is cut out without hands, right, and smote the image, Yahushua is coming with the chariots, right? And him destroying this is Esau's fall from his reign, from his dominion, from his rulership, right? And Jacob is the beginning of the new age. Come on, man. Right? So everlasting peace and glory for the elect. Isaiah 60, verse 18 to 22. Isaiah 60, verse 18 to 22. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land. Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. Right? So all people, right? When you go to 2nd Ezra, Ezekiel 36, right? He's going to cleanse us of all our ungodliness. That's going to happen to the elect first, getting beamed up. And then in the kingdom, through the loins of the elect, the other children, 2/3, those that was in the spirit world, they're going to come back new. And it's not going to be no sin dwelling in them because of what? They the people shall all be righteous. So whoever comes out of the loins of men, when the man pregnate the woman, stuff her tackle, guess what? She's going to bring forth righteous children, and they're going to be having glorified bodies, and they're going to be in the knowing. So it's either they're going to be those that rise up to everlasting shame, knowing, oh man, we didn't serve the Lord, oh man, but they're going to be the least in the kingdom, but greater than all the heathens in the earth, because they still Israelites. So the elect becomes immortal kings and priests, reigning with Yahushua. Now the men are about to get that glory, just like Yahushua, because they're joint heirs with Yahushua. Israel as a nation, but it goes back to the men. You men are going to be glorified like Yahushua, right? You're going to be celebrated and honored, right? And we're going to give all the praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, right? It's amazing. Revelations 21, verse 1 and 4. Revelations 21, verse 1 and 4. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. The new means afresh. So a new rulership, a new earth, right? Because this earth is gonna be under new management, and things are gonna be stretched out and expanded, and it's gonna look way beautiful. Things you have never seen. Really, a lot of places that man haven't seen. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. This is the final state of redemption. No more captivity, death, or sorrow for the elect. So Corinthians, the 6th chapter, verse 2. For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I scourged or secured thee. So in the day of salvation have I secured thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. We're getting close to that, right? But salvation is nearer than we believe. It's closer than what y'all believe, man. You have to see, you have to know. It has to be a feeling, right? Look, just having the truth on the earth is automatic a note to let you know salvation is near, because that breath of life is on the earth. The Lord has fulfilled what was said in Revelations. Before, the church was reading all these verses and didn't understand it. It wasn't, they were staying away from revelation. They were staying away from prophecy. Now we understand. You like, yo, the truth only been out for 56 years. Christianity been on the earth for years. I wish I never returned, man. Come on, man. So this day is approaching swiftly. The elect must remain stand fast, faithful, spiritually awake, awaiting the great and dreadful day of Yahweh Shal Shai. Maintain your faith, be consistent, be persistent, right? Let's not make excuses, because excuses can get you killed, right? So I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the power always make this possible, right? Because this is not of us, right? We didn't choose this truth. He chose it for us. So I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. For those that's new to the channel, Yahweh is the Most High God. Yahweh Shai is who the world literally calls Jesus. That is not his name. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders who rule well in great millstone. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit. Lord willing, as a whole, y'all can continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of this faith and this truth. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. Lord willing, Yahweh Shema Shai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that is not in the faith. So with that, we're going to say shalom, shalom, abba. Salvation is soon.